All right, so we're at Bamboo Recording Studios here today with ZayyDusse. We're gonna do our first interview. Yeah, let's get into it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So, when we were pulling up here, we were talking about what studios you usually go to, and you mentioned how when you're not recording in a studio, you use an app called BandLab.
Right.
Tell me more about that.
Right. So, BandLab, I'm not gonna lie, I started using BandLab, I wanna say around 2019, 2020. Before that though, it was GarageBand. GarageBand was cool, you know. But then BandLab came out and it just kinda took over. You can use BandLab with your laptop, your computer. I wanna say about 75% of the artists on TikTok using BandLab.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going crazy. So like, if you can't get to a studio for whatever reason, financially, car, whatever the reason, hop on BandLab. It's free. They do got a pro version now, and they always updating. Woo, but yeah, BandLab is definitely the one, man. I'm telling you. Besides the studio, of course, because nothing beats studio sound. Obviously, nothing's gonna be that studio sound. But BandLab is definitely a go-to.
So at the end of the day, if you're an artist, you don't got any excuse to not be making music.
Yeah, exactly. Like you shouldn't have no excuse really. And to be honest, you kind of hit the nail on the head with that, cause it's kind of easy for, well, I don't know. I kind of see it a lot now. People just make excuses, or just find a reason to make excuses. Now,
Yeah.
I don't got the equipment, this, that, and the third. Who was it? Who did you say when we was pulling up? It was Steve Lacy.
Oh yes, sir. Yeah.
I think they got his iPhone in a museum.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got his iPhone in a museum. Headphones, iPhone, boom.
Yeah, I was telling him because he was showing me how BandLab works, and it's so technical, like the actual app when you go into it, the interface. And I was just telling him it reminds me of Steve Lacy recording music directly into his iPhone on GarageBand. But yeah, no, for real, it's funny because like I feel like as people too, like sometimes I always tell myself excuses to like push certain things off, but at the end of the day, you kind of just have to take that first step into doing things.
Exactly.
So, whenever you're not recording on BandLab, do you have like one producer you typically work with, or how does that typically work? Do you just like kind of get beats from anyone, or do you have one guy you go to? Because I remember you mentioned that you work with someone out in London, or you have before.
Yeah, my guy J Biz out in London. Shout out to J Biz. We do work here and there. But I don't get all my beats from him. Most of the time, I'm still, filtering through YouTube type beats here and there. Cause sometimes a lot of the producers that I work with, they're working with, artists bigger than myself. So it's not every day I'll be like, yo, can I get a pack? I might not get a response till the same day next month. And I don't just wait that long for a pack. I can't. Yeah, music got to be dropped. Music got to be made. And so, yeah, I feel like YouTube is definitely still a good alternative. Don't knock YouTube type beats, y'all. Don't knock it. Don't count them out just yet.
That's
don't
a good
count
way
them out
to
just
connect
yet.
with other artists too, because you might come across a producer that's on YouTube posting his beats that's looking for someone to rap on them.
Exactly, and that's just another form of networking, to be honest.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, but pay for the beat though. Don't don't do that.
So when it comes to, I guess, like making music, whether it's in a studio or on BandLab, do you have a creative process that you go to, or like, is it always just kind of random? Do you need to experience something to write a song, or can you just kind of write a song whenever?
I will say yes and no when it comes to needing to experience something to write a song. Because you got some songs where the vibe is just for anthem, for party, moods, and then you got your songs where you're looking for your audience and your fan base to feel what you're saying. And I feel like when you go through things, that definitely that adds to the uniqueness of your song, and like that's when you're kind of getting into the storytelling and putting your feelings and your emotions and stuff, whether good or bad, putting them on the floor and whatnot. And then, like I said, you got those songs where it's just like, all right, off the top of the head, this beat is hard. Let's just vibe.
So
boom,
do you
boom,
kind of
boom.
like set the intent before you fully make the song? Like, all right, I'm gonna storytell in this song, or this is gonna be just kind of like an anthem or like a banger I want to make?
I would say coming in, I used to would make the lyrics first. I would have my lyrics first, and then I'd go like find a beat and match it to the lyrics or the melody that I came up with. But it's the total opposite now. Like now, I roll up a J, I'll sit, turn on my speaker, play beats. The first one that catch my eye, oh, that's the beat right there. Yep, play it back, listen to it a few times, and then from there, I'll just get to humming. Like I'll pick a melody, just find. Normally I'll do a hook. I'll hum a hook first because that's it's like it's kind of hard to do a whole song straight through no hook because then you leaning into the field of like you don't really have anything that's like kind of catchy. I mean, you may have Instagram captions, but when it comes to like, for example, Sexy Red, shake your dread, shake your dread, shake your dread, hook, straight hook. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of Kendrick versus like deep thought, like that's going into it sometimes. And like I said, that's where it definitely comes in a mix of both. Like when it comes to having a thought process behind a song and just making it whenever. But like I said, I definitely go ahead and listen to the beat first, just get a vibe for it, and just get a feel for the song. And by the time I'm on my like second J or whatever, I'm ready to go in the band lab or going to the booth. All right, let's knock it out. Boom, just get to it.
So was there like one specific moment or like situation that had you switch from writing lyrics first to listening to the beats first, or was it kind of just something that happened over time with like growth as an artist?
Not gonna lie, that definitely happened. Excuse me, that definitely happened with growth as an artist, because when I first started, I wasn't really interested in making music. I came from a athletic background. I was running track and stuff, high school and college. So I wasn't really even in college. I wasn't thinking about music. So my first few studio sessions was actually with all of my friends. I was just going just for the vibe, just to go be around. And then one time my mans was like, "Yo, hop in the booth." I'm like, "Nah, I'm coolin', man. I'm just right here. I'm good. Y'all, it's y'all thing." He like, come on, man, hop in the booth." I didn't do it that night. Second studio session, I think like a week later, came back around. "Yo, you gonna hop in the booth?" "All right, I'll do it." It had to be about, and shout out to Ajax Swayze. He'll tell you this story. It had to be about 10, 15 people in there. I went in the booth, my first time ever. I had actually wrote what I had right there before I went in. One take came in. I came back into the little area. Everybody was just kind of staring at me. I'm like, damn, I did bad or something. They're like, bro, where did you come from? Da, 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 da. I'm just like, I can do some more if y'all fucking with that. But yeah, it just kind of came naturally, so to speak. Like saying that to say it just came naturally. So it's not really a lot of times where I'll, just think too hard on lyrics or anything. It normally just flows.
Okay.
And sometimes it doesn't, and I don't force it when it doesn't. There's sometimes I have writer's block, and if it doesn't go, I'm just like, all right, I'll leave it alone. I can't think right now. Let me go take a walk. Let me go do something, like just get my mind off it, because you don't want to overstimulate yourself. Because it's pressure. It's pressure, like being an independent artist and wanting to come up and be the best among like other artists that also want to be the best. It's pressure. So, there's definitely times where I feel like, okay, I need to just make song. I need to spend this whole week just trying to force a song, but that's not always good.
It doesn't happen like that all
Yeah,
the time.
it don't happen like that all the time. Like
I
there's
can relate to
definitely
that,
times.
like making clothes. Like honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like the last month or so, I've like had trouble just coming up with designs or sketching things. And it's funny you're mentioning pressure, because I feel like a lot of the times, like the most pressure we face is like the pressure we're putting on ourselves
Exactly.
to like do this. Like you're saying, like force a song, force a like shirt design. but like sometimes it's just not really there. And it sounds like a lot of like your process too is like kind of curating like a setting to, like you were saying, like you were in the studio with friends and then that kind of you were able to just kind of write the lyrics in the moment, or just like if the vibes are good, like it just kind of like depends like what's happening in that actual setting that's helping you make that song.
Exactly. It's like, you know, like you were saying with the pressure and stuff, it's just you don't want to, like I was saying, you don't want to overstimulate yourself. It's like in both of our fields, once we take that, all right, just take a second, give it a few days, give it a few hours, minutes, or whatever. It'll just come to you, like out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure it came to you like that, like just like a song. It just randomly came to me. Like there's been times, some of my best songs have just like been like boom, just came to me right before I had to go clock into work, and I'm like, look, I'll be 30 minutes late. I'm doing something else, but I'm really on band lab trying to knock this song out. So, cause I just got this crazy thought process. I'm like, look, I got to get this out now. Yeah, exactly. Actually, that song was Nights off my EP Him. That song was Nights. I made that in what I want to say 30 minutes. I want to say, yeah. I showed up like 10 minutes. They was mad about that. I gave them like I don't know what excuse I gave them. It was something random. I definitely didn't tell them. Yeah, I'm making music, so I'd be late to work. but it's definitely times, man, where it's just like it'll just come to you. And so
I feel you, bro.
I feel like there's no need in you know, like you said, putting extra pressure on yourself. Just give yourself grace. Like I feel like as an artist, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a creative, be graceful with yourself. Like don't be so too hard on yourself, because you know you want the best for you. So just remember to have some grace with that, because you don't want to, you know, like overwork yourself and then burn out, and then you'll get the feeling like, all right, I'm tired, I can't do this. Da, da, da. No, just take it peacefully, and I'm telling you, it's gonna come to you, like just like the songs do, just like the District Apparel does, just like this next drop he about to show y'all. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, it's funny. You definitely got to show yourself grace. At the end of the day, I don't know. I just feel like going back to like putting pressure on yourself, it's just so unnecessary. Like it's good to like take a second and just be aware of how far you've already come.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than like trying to focus on where you're trying to go.
Exactly.
And just be more present. That's very important. But yeah, I guess let's go back to making how you make music and your creative process. Do you typically collaborate with like a lot of artists? Do you have like a group of people you typically collaborate with, or do you typically just like write songs on your own and make your own music?
So I do make my own music. I write all of my own music. I don't really do a lot of collaborations. And that's not for any reason, you know, so to speak. It's just I just be so locked in with myself, yo. It's just like I really don't be thinking to collab unless it's, you know, obviously an artist bigger than myself, someone, you know, that I could gain from. But you know, I don't really do too many collabs. I do have a few. Let's see. Can I? No, I can't really count them off the top of my head. But I want to say maybe less than 7 collabs I've done within this past 1 to 2 years, maybe. And like I said, again, that's not for any reason other than like I'm just so dialed in with myself, yo. It's just like, yeah, I can shoot you a verse, but
It's
let
like
me finish this song first. Yeah,
right? Like, you
yeah.
don't have to force a collaboration just to work with someone, just to have a feature on a song. Like you can just make music on your own. If you're comfortable doing that, why not?
Exactly.
Really hone into your own craft.
Exactly, like hone into your own craft. So, and it's like, you know, again, not to say like, oh, I wouldn't collab or this, that, and the third. I'm definitely open to collabs, but when it comes to that, no, I won't just hop on any song. I would definitely gotta, you know, there's gotta be something that I would vibe to, like, just like how, in your world, like, you know, if a brand collab came and they said, yo, we want to collab with District, you know, it's gotta be something that, you know, your world is going, like,
resonate with me for sure.
Yeah, so definitely, it's definitely gotta resonate. So, yeah, I definitely feel that.
Okay. So, I want to kind of like talk more about some business parts of, I guess, being an artist. So on the business side, how do you balance the creative aspects of making music while also trying to grow as a business? Because like when you're an artist, you're the brand. You're like who you're constantly trying to promote and to an audience. You want people to listen to your music. For me, it's a little different because I'm promoting my brand, but like my brand, I guess, is kind of an extension of me in a sense. But at the end of the day, it's its own entity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're your own brand when you're an artist. So what have you? Is there any like strategies you use to like kind of gain a following or an audience, or I don't know. How do you balance all that?
So, as far as the business aspect of being an independent artist, it's definitely challenging. It's definitely challenging at times, but it's also very rewarding because once you have those big breaks, it's like, damn, I did all this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm independent. I did this, but on the flip side, you don't have no label backing. You may or may not have a publishing deal. So it's like, and those just don't get thrown out to just every independent artist. So, you know, like everything is fully out of pocket, you know, and especially with the way of the economy now and way everything is going now and the way how just like, you know, it's some producers that will work with independent artists on their level, but then there are some, you know, they just want $1. So it's their rate, and for whoever, whether you Drake or whether you know somebody, a local. But as far as the business aspect, everything is definitely out of pocket. So when it comes to promotion and traveling and booking your band, or you know, like even when it comes down to equipment, like your mic, your sound system equipment, you know, you got to pay for your flyers, this, that, and the third. So everything is just, it's all like a thought process, just everything, like, you know, it's more than just, okay, let me think about what song or what set of lyrics I can put on the beat today. It's like, okay, that's right here, but also right here is, okay, how much do I need for promo? Also right here, it's like, okay, how much do I need to put towards, you know, making sure this song that drops goes up? Because once you got to promote yourself as an artist, but you also have to promote your music. And, you know, promotion isn't cheap. It's not. But it's also not that expensive. It's if you're willing to take the risk and get the reward, then that's what you're gonna do, I feel like. And it's like, lately I've kind of been realizing that. So it's like, yeah, I've definitely been in a position of we're in a mind space of, okay, let's get a budget going, or let's play manager to myself, because, you know, like, because, you know, I don't have a manager. I'm solely independent. So every airplay, every radio play, anything just came like strictly off me. And
you're the CEO, like you control everything. Kind of like right now, I don't have like a team, so I make the designs. I have to be in charge of marketing it and like fulfilling those orders.
Exactly.
And you have that responsibility in your sense as well, where you got to figure out how you're going to market yourself, how you're going to get your songs out to people. So
exactly,
it's a lot to figure out.
And I will say,
it's a lot for one person to figure out.
Yeah, right. And that's when and see, like you said, it's a lot for one person to figure out. And it's just, I won't say that you need a team, but if you have a team, it just makes everything like a lot easier, because then you can just, as an artist, having a team, you can just kind of take a step back and just focus on the craft. Wow, you got somebody else in the team focusing on the finance side. You got somebody else focusing on the promo side. You got somebody, you got somebody else focusing on, you know, whatever area it is to keep you know, the artist from solely having to just tackle on all of those tasks and just, you know, keep them mentally overstimulating, you know, like I mentioned earlier, just keep them, you know, pressuring yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overstimulation does a lot to you, man. It really does.
Yeah. And going back to your second question, when it came to me being able to build a following, a fan base, I will say, first starting out, it was definitely difficult. Only because, like I said, it was just like I just randomly started doing music one day. So nobody knew I, you know, could even, you know, sing or rap or do anything that I do, unless you knew me from my childhood. Because, you know, I always could sing. My mother, she grew up singing in church, so I always could sing. But I was never getting in the studio or trying to write a song or anything like that. And so when I did start dropping my first few songs, the traction was cool, but it wasn't really like, you know how some artists can come in and they boom.
Yeah, like
they blow up.
No overnight shit. Shit doesn't happen overnight. Yeah,
Exactly. What do we call them? The
one hit wonders?
Nah, the industry plans.
Oh, industry plans.
Industry plans. But yeah, man, it's like I didn't really have too big of a following starting out, but one day I made a decision, and I remember it like vividly. One day I made a decision to say, you know what? I'm dropping these songs. Yeah, like my friends and their friends sharing it. Yeah, it's going cool, but I'm not really getting the following that I'm wanting to get, because these people saying I can be an artist, I'm not seeing it. So it's like, all right, let me change up my mental. Let me start making music for me, because I felt like, I realized I was making music to gain a following.
Yeah. Like
I was just making music to just, you know, but once I started making music for me, and because I really just enjoyed making music, it got to the point I stopped dropping music. I just had like unreleased songs I was just leaking, and then people was like, man, drop this.
Bro, I'm really glad you mentioned that, because something that I think is really important is a lot of people do things but don't actually ask themselves or question, like, why am I doing this?
Right.
Like, why am I doing this for me, or like, who am I doing this for?
Right.
Even like when you're doing it, like even now, like sometimes I feel like I get a little lost, and then I have to remind myself, like, why am I doing this? Like I have to go back to the reason I started doing this in the first place. Like, why am I making clothes? Why do I want to build a brand? Why do you want to make music? Like,
exactly.
You gotta remind yourself sometimes, because sometimes you get lost, and then that's kind of where that writer's block or like that block comes in sometimes, and you just feel lost. It's it's a tough feeling, but
exactly.
It happens.
And it's like, and that's a crazy feeling or a tough feeling to fight off, but it's like you gotta fight it off, because if you don't, next thing you know, you'll get those thoughts of, man, I want to quit. This ain't it. Like,
you lose belief in yourself.
Yeah, real. Like you can lose belief in yourself real quick thinking like that. So it's like you gotta, like, you know what I'm saying. Like I said, back to what we were speaking on earlier with even having grace with yourself. Like it all ties into that, and just like
at the end of the day, like, you're your own best friend. No one's gonna believe in you more than you believe in yourself. No one's gonna love you more than you love yourself.
Yeah.
So it's when you lose that belief, it can be really hard, and especially like when you build a bunch of momentum for a while and you feel like you're on an upward trajectory and you're making the right choices. Everything still does happen for a reason, and everything happens to you like to get you to where you're supposed to go. But it's tough. It's definitely tough when you just like lose that belief in yourself, because I mean, obviously, like, you have family members that believe in you, people that support you, but no one's gonna believe in you more than you believe in yourself.
Exactly.
And if you don't believe in yourself, you're not gonna be able to get anything done.
at all. Cause it's like, what's the saying? No, it's on you to get you where you want to be.
Yeah.
Literally. Not even.
It goes back to like what you're saying. Like, I don't know, people that want to do things but don't want to start and don't make that first step. Like, there's never really like a full excuse for, like, I mean, obviously everyone's got different situations, but taking that first step, like, it's not gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just gotta take it. Like, for example, like, you don't have a laptop or a recording studio to go to, like, you can hop on BandLab.
Exactly.
if you don't know who to get t-shirts or clothing from, like fucking print something on an old shirt, you know what I mean? Like there's really no excuse. So, and once you take that first step, you kind of realize like how a lot of like the holding off is just your mind playing tricks on you, like just to kind of like push things off without actually taking any initiative on it. But I don't know.
Yeah, man.
It's important to just take that first step, and you kind of realize like how many opportunities there are out there.
Because like, and that just goes back to like what we were saying earlier. Like, you got to take the risk. Like, I just feel like I used to think, oh, no risk, no reward. Why I gotta be risky? Like, why I gotta, is that like illegal? Is that like, what, like, what we got, risk our life or something? But no, like, risk is anything. Like, the risk could be sleep.
Yeah.
The risk could be food. Like, the risk could be hours with friends. Like, taking time away from that to lock in. Like, you know,
a lot of sacrifices gotta be made sometimes.
Like a lot of sacrifices gotta be made.
Time's very valuable, especially when you're in like either of our industries, like, and you're trying to build and grow. Time is so valuable, so you gotta be very cognizant of like who you're spending that time with and like what you're doing, and like, are you receiving value out of that, or are you like regressing and not getting anything done?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
If you could collaborate with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I think about this question a lot. Not even that people ask me a lot. I just think about that a lot. I'll do both. I'll do dead and alive.
Okay.
We'll go with the past first. For some reason, I'm gonna have to go with. I don't know why I want a Tupac feature.
Okay.
I don't know why I want a Tupac feature. I don't know why.
You don't have to know why, though. It's Tupac.
Yeah, I don't know why I want a Pac feature, but I would have wanted a Pac feature.
Hell yeah.
For sure. Now, if you would have asked me this like a month ago, I would probably said Drake. But since the whole Not Like Us thing, he took the L.
Hey, Drake is still Drake though.
Yeah, he's still Drake. Shout out OVO.
But I feel you might have to take some time away for a little bit.
I'm gonna hold off on that feat. Good. I don't want no shots thrown at me. Take a back seat like J. Cole. But J. Cole, I would do it with J. Cole.
Oh,
Give me Cole.
there
Give me
you
Cole.
go.
Yeah, give me Cole.
That's a fire one.
Yeah.
All right.
Because
Tupac and J. Cole then. Imagine you, Tupac, and J. Cole on a song. That'd be crazy.
I just imagine Tupac and J. Cole on a song. Just then, like that'd be tough. But now, like, us three all on a song, I wouldn't even know what that would be.
It'd be a lot.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even know it. Because that's, honestly, the reason I said that is because, the reason I said Pac is because, obviously, he has, like, you know, melodic songs, but for the most part, we two totally different genres. R&B, you know, Bobby, he gangster rap.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting to me when fields collide.
100%. Especially like when it comes to R&B and rap, because it's like yin and yang, you know what I'm saying? There's like such a perfect balance when both of those come together on a song.
Exactly.
It's something beautiful, bro.
Exactly. So it's like, and then the reason I say Cole is because he gonna come with his wordplay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And he's on, that song Grippy, like, I guess we could all say, like, that was, I don't know what that was, but he's been on the craziest feature run I've ever seen.
He has.
Out of anyone, like, the last fucking, like, 5 years, like, nonstop, 5 to 10 years. He's just been on the craziest feature run.
I'm not gonna lie, if we had to choose the women, because I don't want to leave the female artists out. Past, that's a hard one. Let's go present. I want a Sexy Red feature for sure.
You'll get one day.
Yeah.
So last question to wrap up the interview. I feel like since I'm interviewing a DMV artist, a DC rapper, we kind of have to bring the question back to tie it back to DC. So, what is your favorite late night food spot in DC? And Oscar, you can answer this too after, but I want to hear what's your favorite late night food spot?
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. For the most part, my favorite late night food spot is sleep. Cause I be sleep. But if I am up late and I'm like hungry and it ain't nothing already, that I'm just right here. I can't remember, yo. I had some. It was this pizza place. I'll think of it and I'll get it back to you. But they were open. They be open until like 4 a.m.
Okay.
What is it called? It's something.
Where in DC is it?
It's downtown, because you know I'm uptown.
Yeah.
But it's downtown somewhere. I want to say not too far from Chinatown area. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. I may be mistaken, but I know it's downtown. But I got them at like 3 a.m. one time. Awesome. High antics. It was great. It was great. I haven't got it again because, like I said, I don't be up late night for real.
Yeah, you can't be having late night food every night, but like that's what makes it so special because when you get it, it hits, bro.
or I'm not gonna lie. I'll also say I'm quick to just cop a little McDonald's fry.
Okay.
And call it a day. No joke. But when it comes to DC foods though, in the daytime, look. Hit up Drake and Knight, y'all. Go hit up Drake and Knight. Go hit up Roman Rooster. Go hit up Roman Rooster. What is it? Men's Next Door, Bus Boys and Poets. I shouldn't be putting y'all onto all this.
Damn, yeah. You gotta gatekeep some of it at least, you know what I'm saying?
Tripping.
Late night, I definitely will fuck with what is it, Taco and Torta or something like that on
Bro, I've seen that on TikTok. Like,
I haven't seen that 24-hour taco spot.
Okay,
I've seen that. Like,
where's that at?
It's on Columbia Pike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Mine for the longest time has been Munchies. Have you guys ever been to Munchies?
Where's that at?
There's one in DuPont and there's one in the OG one's the one in Georgetown. That's the one I go to. But it's like Lebanese food. They make crepes. They're open like until 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. It hits.
Yeah.
That's all. That was the last question. So appreciate you taking the time for the interview.
Yes, sir.
We'll be in touch. We're definitely gonna work on some stuff in the future. So y'all stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for part 2, y'all.
Yes, sir.
We ain't gonna disclose the location yet.
Yeah.
I know he was about to do it. We can't do it yet.
I was close to doing it, but
Stay tuned.
All right, stay tuned. Cool.